Hi, it's Jagni. I hope you're having a fabulous week. This week, I want to talk about something called the Wellness Wheel or Circle of Life. It has a few different names. It's a self-assessment of the different areas in your life. What I mean by that is, our lives are more than just our physical appearance, how we're feeling mentally and emotionally. There are so many parts of our lives that contribute to that holy trinity of physical, mental, and emotional health. Now, this circle of life or this wellness wheel, it's an exercise that you complete for yourself. It takes less than 5 minutes. I will make sure to drop a link after I post the video so you can access it, or feel free to Google Wellness Wheel or Circle of Life. Go online and search for it, and you will find so many different infographics, so many different of those wheels out there that you can use for your exercise. Now, the one that I typically use has 12 different areas for you to evaluate. You take each area and rank it from a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being extremely satisfied with that part of your life, 1 being extremely dissatisfied with that part of your life. What this does is it gives you a sense of direction. Sometimes in life, we know we want a certain outcome, but we don't know how to get there. So this wheel kind of gives you an insight, and it's indicative of the areas that you should probably focus on. Because if you do, you might start to see the change that you want to see in yourself. Now, as I said earlier, there are 12 areas. I'm going to go through all of them. And again, each area you rank on a scale of 1 to 10. My recommendation would be any segment that you rank below 7, I would say 6 and below. That's the area that you want to pay close attention to. Those areas are the ones that you want to kind of take a step back, meditate on them and figure out, okay, where exactly do I need to make a change so that I experience greater satisfaction in these specific areas? So let's get started. One of the first areas on that wheel is called joy. Simple, straightforward. Different folks have a different definition of joy. So whatever your definition is, whatever brings you happiness, joy, go ahead and rank that. And if you, for instance, come up with 2 for joy, that's a very red flag, right? And all right, you need to take a really good look at that part of your life. What is it that you could be doing differently or that you want to do differently that would get you from a 2 to a 7 or an 8 or a 9 or even a 10? So you kind of get the gist of it. The next area is your social life. This is key. It's very important to not be lonely. When we're lonely, we use food as comfort. We consume a lot of social media, a lot of entertainment, and somewhere we lose that human connection. That connection is key to feeling happiness in our lives and to feeling like we're not alone. It gives us hope and it gives us joy as well. So, where would you rank your social life? Um, Now, the next area is relationships. It kind of overlaps with social life, but think of it more in terms of if you have a significant other, what is that relationship like? What is your relationship with your children like? What about your parents, your siblings? It's those connections that you're focusing on, and that's where you're going to rank this area. If you're coming in at 6 or below, what needs to change? Is it better communication? Is it setting boundaries? Is it spending time alone with the other person, and having those moments with them? So, what is it that could help you enhance this area of your life? The next segment is home environment. What is the home environment like? And what I mean by that is, if you're trying to eat healthy and you're trying to lose weight, having junk food, processed food at home, that's not going to help. It's tempting, and there's only so much willpower that all of us have. It's like putting a bag of chips in front of me. It's almost impossible for me to not have a handful of chips. So figure out, what is your home environment like? Also ask yourself, what is the actual vibe in the house? Is it one of support and love and understanding, or is it one of judgment and anger and stress? What are those emotions that you experience in the house? That also contributes to your well-being. The next segment is home cooking. Again, very simple. For some folks, cooking at home is extremely important for them to be in control of what they're eating. It's also a way for them to save money, from not spending it on eating out or takeout. So where do you rank home cooking? How satisfied are you with that part of your life? Or is it just completely irrelevant? That's okay too. It may not hold any bearing on your overall well-being. The next one is physical activity. Think of this as more than just lifting weights or doing cardio. It's taking your kid to the park. It's going on a walk, or it's going on a walk with your dog, cleaning the house, anything that requires some solid movement, consistent movement is physical activity. This next area is health. Now, you define what health means to you. For me, as I said earlier, it's the Trinity. It's being emotionally healthy, mentally healthy, and physically healthy. If even one of them is out of alignment, to me, I don't feel healthy. But your definition of health might be completely different, and that's totally acceptable. So you define it, and then you figure out where you land when it comes to your health. A next area is education. It's more than just getting a college degree or, going back to school. If education is important to you, basically, if being a lifelong learner is important to you and it feeds your soul, then what are you doing about it? If there's that book that you really want to read, or you want to get certified, or you want to take that class on creative writing, what is stopping you? And how can you get yourself there? How can you incorporate that in your life? The next segment is career. Where are you professionally? Are you feeling good about where you are financially at work? Your job security, your sense of job fulfillment. Where does all of that align when it comes to your professional world? Are there any changes that you need to make? If so, how can you make them? The next one, kind of similar, it's finances. Believe it or not, finances play a huge role on our overall well-being. When we're not in a good place financially, it could cause us tremendous stress. We could feel burdened. We could feel uncertain. And that could have an impact not just on our head and heart, but also on our bodies. All that pain and all that stress manifests itself in our bodies. So think about your finances. Maybe you want to revisit your expenses. Maybe you want to be debt free. Maybe you want to put more into savings. Whatever it is, evaluate that area of your life. It's just as important for overall wellness. The next segment is creativity. For some, this is really important. For others, it's not, and that's totally fine too. I think some folks thrive on being creative. It really, again, lifts their spirits. So what is it that helps you feed that part of you? How can you be more creative if that's important to you? Is it, just taking dance lessons or learning a new dance routine? Maybe taking that oil painting class, maybe doing some crafts, setting aside time every week to work on that creativity for you. And then the last area is spirituality. Now, again, this is something That's important to some, not so much to others. And everyone defines being spiritual very differently. So there's no standard definition, not in my world. So, however you feel about being spiritual, whether that's making time to go to church or a temple or synagogue, um, or a mosque, or it's, sitting down and doing some Bible study or reading from the scriptures, or it's saying your prayers, or it's just doing some good humane work, whether it's volunteering and uplifting other people's lives. Whatever your definition of being spiritual, are you able to fulfill that in your life? And then rank it accordingly. As I said earlier, go through the wheel. It takes less than 5 minutes. Where you really want to spend time is those areas that are at 6 or below. Those are areas that you want to take a closer look at, because that's what's going to get you from where you are to where you want to be. As always, I am here to support you and to help you. You can follow me on Instagram at Imperfect Bodies by C. Modi. Also check out my website. That's www.imperfectbodies.com. Imperfect Bodies, one word. I hope you enjoyed today's content. Please like and subscribe, and be well. I will see you soon.